Hello guys, this is Khalil Ahmed from MILLENNIUM Immigration Canada. I got a lot of questions regarding Canadian work permit. So most of the people they want to know how to apply and what are the eligibilities and what many kinds of work permits they can apply. So on this page I would like to tell you this information. These are very important. Please stay till the end of this video because each and every page is very important and gonna help you to prepare your application for your work permit. First of all, you have to know that you need a work permit or not to work in Canada. Especially usually people need a work permit to work in Canada. In some cases, you can work without a work permit. If your occupation is listed here, what type of work will you do in Canada. If your occupation is listed here, then you no need work permit. If you select this one, my job is not on the list, you select this one and submit it, then it will show that if your job is not on the job list, you need work permit. So just if you click here eligible for work permit, there is eligibility requirements for all applicants. There are specific requirements you need to meet depending on where you are and when you apply for your work permit. But regardless of where you apply or which type of work permit you apply for, you must prove to an officer that you will leave Canada when your work permit expires, and you have to show that you have enough money to take care of yourself and your family members during your stay in Canada and to return home, obey the law of Canada and have no record of criminal activities. For that purpose, you need police clearance certificate. Not be a danger to Canadian security, and you must be in good health and have a medical exam if needed. Not plan to work for an employer listed with the status ineligible on the list of employer who failed to comply with the conditions. So these are the employers. If you click here, so you will know that which are employers are where you are prohibited to work. Not plan to work for an employer who on a regular basis offers striptease type of job or erotic dances job or escorts services or erotic massage professions. So these are the professions where you will not work. Give the officer any other documents they ask for to prove you can enter the country. Eligibility requirements if you apply from outside Canada. Anyone can apply before they enter Canada. However, there may be visa office requirement that you need to meet depending on what country or territory you are applying from. Make sure you follow the instructions for how to apply. If you click here, then it will tell you everything. Eligibility requirements if you apply from inside Canada. If you are already in Canada, then you can apply for a work permit. You must have a valid study or work permit. Your spouse or common law partner or parents have a valid study or work permit. You are eligible for postgraduate work permit and your study permit is still valid. You have a temporary residence permit that is valid for 6 months or more. You are waiting on a decision on application for permanent residence from inside Canada. You made a claim for refugee protection. The refugee people also can, they are also eligible. You have been recognized as a convention refugee or protected person by the Immigration and Refugee Board of Canada. You are allowed to work in Canada without work permit, but you need a work permit to work in a different job. This does not apply to a business visitors. If you are allowed to work in Canada without work permit, if you click here, it will take you to the same page where those professions have been mentioned who don't need work permit. You are a trader or investors or intra-company transferee or professional under the Canada, United States, Mexico Agreement, CUSMA. Eligibility requirements if you apply when you enter Canada at the port of entry, POE. Most people can't apply for work permit or give their biometrics at a Canadian port of entry right now due to travel restrictions due to COVID-19. You can apply at the port of entry. If you meet all of these conditions, you are entering Canada from the United States. The first one is you must be entering from United States. You cannot travel from inside Canada to the port of entry. In other words, you cannot flag pool. Okay, you must be coming from the United States to Canada, but from Canada, from one province to another province to the border of Canada, to get your work permit is not allowed, which is called flag pooling. You go from within the Canada, you go to the border and take your work permit and come back. This says you cannot travel from inside Canada to the port of entry. In other words, you cannot flag pool. You have a plan to quarantine for 14 days upon arrival. Once you arrive in Canada, you must have a plan to for 14 days to quarantine yourself. You have a valid job offer. You must have a valid job offer to get your work permit at the port of entry. You meet all other requirements to apply at the port of entry. IRCC recommends that you apply for your work permit before you enter Canada. However, you can apply for your work permit when you enter Canada. If you do not need a visitor visa to come to Canada, if you click here, then you will know that who are eligible not to get a visitor visa. You must also be traveling directly from the United States while traveling restrictions are in place. In other words, you cannot flag pool. Flag pool I already mentioned you there. And you are applying for an open work permit. You can do that. You must also have a valid job offer while travel restrictions are in place, or your employer has completed all of the required steps for your employer-specific work permit. I don't want to go into the depth because these are the steps which employer needs to fulfill to apply for your work permit. If you click here, you can go there. You may need to take a medical exam before you come to Canada. You need medical exam as well before you come to Canada. Find out if you need one. If you click here, they will ask you which country, this and that, then you will put your information. It will show you need or not. Seasonal agriculture worker program. If you will be working in the seasonal agriculture worker program, you are not eligible to apply for a work permit. This program, seasonal agriculture worker programs, they are not eligible to apply for work permit at the port of entry. Regarding biometrics, most applicants are not eligible to give their biometrics at a port of entry. To give your biometrics at a port of entry, you must meet two requirements. You start and finish your application at the same port of entry. Understand? It's very, very clear. I think no need to go into the depth. Be eligible to apply for a work permit at a port of entry. Eligible applicants can give their biometrics at these port of entry's location. If you click here, so in Alberta, if you are coming to Alberta, so there is a Calgary International Airport. These are the port of entries. So in the British Columbia, the province of Canada, Alberta is a province of Canada. These are the port of entries like Abbotsford and Boundary Bay, Douglas, Manitoba. Manitoba is a province also. And New Brunswick, Newfoundland, and Labrador is all in black highlighted, printed out. They are all provinces. Nova Scotia, Ontario. Ontario, this is Ambassador Bridge, Water Bridge, CBS at Toronto City Centre Airport, Cornwall, Fort Francis. These are the port of entries where you will enter to Canada. You can enter to Canada, and this is the Yukon. That is not province territory. So Whitehorse Airport. If you come here, this is the port of entry also. So guys, you understood which are the port of entries and what are the provinces. Get the right. This is very important. You must know that there are two work permits in Canada, so that you should not do any mistakes. So there are two types of work permits. Number A is employer-specific work permit. On this work permit, the employer or company where you will be working its name will be printed there, so you can only work for that employer, not for other people. You are bound with that employers, and on that work permit there will be a name of the specific employer you can work for, how long you can work, and the location where you can work if applicable. So these three things will be mentioned on that specific employer specific work permit. Before you submit your application for employer specific work permit, the employer who wants to hire you must complete certain steps. I already mentioned, if you click here, these are related to the employer, they will do that. So they will fulfill these steps to hire you before they hire you, and give you either a copy of a labor market impact assessment or an offer of employment number to include in your application. You must have, the employer must give you the LMIA, which is called labor market impact assessment, or an offer of employment number to include in your application. You have to include either LMIA or offer of employment number with your application. Another type of work permit is the open work permit. Open work permit lets you work for any employer in Canada. You are free to work anywhere in Canada, but except for one that is listed as ineligible on the list of employers who have failed to comply with the conditions. If you click here, you will find those employers. You see, these are the employer list here, employers who were found non-compliant. You see, this is the company name here, business operating name here, business legal name here. Okay, this is the address of the company and reasons, if they are non-compliant. So these are the reasons here. So why they are non-compliance reasons, you see here. Penalty, they got penalty. This employer got penalty from the government, $3,000, and date of final decision, when they were ineligible. Suppose if you click 9 here, you see the list here completely. Their working condition did not match or were not better than what was listed on the offer of employment. So in this way, you see, these all 9 things they didn't comply, so that's why they are. So the Canada is not the country where anybody can do anything with labors. There are strict rules and regulations, and the government takes serious actions if there is a complaint against employers. So these are the business employers name here, the business legal name here, their addresses and reasons. You see, this employer has 6 reasons for non-compliance, you see, and he got also $2,000 fines. So some of them they got 750. So in this way, this is a big list. So you are not eligible to work for these employers. If you show if you get any job from these employers, then they will not give you work permit. So you can only get an open work permit in specific situation. There are specific situations, where you will get work permit. If you click here, you guys can. So these are the specific like situations where you will get open work permit. You may be eligible for an open work permit if you are international student who graduated from a designated learning institutions and are eligible for the post-graduation work permit program, and are students who is no longer able to meet the cost of your studies. Okay, destitute student have an employer specific work permit and are being abused or at risk of being abused in relation to your job in Canada, applied for permanent residence in Canada. So all these conditions, guys, you can read, is very easy. So if you meet all these conditions, then you can apply for work permit. There is a program which is called Global Skill Strategy, 2 weeks application process. This is the Global Skill Strategies 2 weeks application process. Let's see you are eligible for that. Let's see the eligibility if you want to get your work permit within 2 weeks. Find out if you are eligible for 2 weeks processing through the Global Skills Strategy. There are LMI conditions. Start working in Canada faster through the Global Skills Strategy. You can come very quickly within 2 weeks. You can get your work permit if you meet the eligibility. IRCC will process most eligible work permits applications within 2 weeks. This is a big thing. Who is eligible for 2 weeks processing? There are two ways you can be eligible for 2 weeks processing of your work permit application. It depends on if you need a labor market impact assessment, okay, LMIA. If you don't need an LMIA, labor market impact assessment, means if you are LMIA exempt, means you don't need to work in Canada. Then if you don't need an LMIA, you will be eligible for 2 weeks processing if you meet all of these requirements. If you are LMIA exempted, if employer think that you don't need LMIA to work in Canada, then you must meet all of these requirements. You are applying from outside Canada. First of thing, you must be outside of Canada when you are applying. Your job is either skills type 0, which is a managerial level job, or skill level, which is a professional job like doctor, engineers, accountants in the National Occupation Classification System. You must meet these conditions, guys, otherwise you will not get qualified in this global skills strategy program. Your employer has submitted an offer of employment using the employer portal and paid the employer compliance fees. International experience Canada applicants are not eligible. Okay, it was the first condition. If you don't need LMIA, okay, labor market impact assessment from your employer. And there is another condition. If you need an LMIA means you required LMIA to work in Canada, then you must meet all of these requirements. You are applying from outside Canada. This is the same like the previous one. You must be outside of Canada when you are applying. You have a positive LMIA through the global talent stream of the temporary foreign worker program. I will make another video for this stream. But this stream is like you can if you qualify. If you qualify, you are eligible to qualify in this global talent stream. And you must have a positive LMIA through this stream. Once you have been selected through this stream and you have a positive LMIA also for the temporary foreign worker program, then this will be an LMIA decision letter. It will be on your LMIA decision letter from the government. Spouses and dependent children, your spouse, common law partners and dependent children are also eligible for 2 weeks processing on applications. Guys, you must before you make any decision, dependent children, there are certain age, you must click there, so you must know that in the legal way, in the legal saying, what are the legal age for the dependent children. So this applies to applications for these applications. They can if your spouse or dependent children in their own visitor visa or work permit or study permits, it applies for them also. They must submit a complete application and apply at the same time as you. Okay, guys, for the global talent stream, if you are qualified, and then your spouse or your children also, if they are on the visitor visa or study permit or work permit, they must complete application and submit it at the same time when you submit. So how to get 2 weeks processing? Once you have the documents and information you need from your employer, you and your family members must apply online from outside Canada and submit a complete application. If you guys click here, it will give you the complete application package, and you must include your medical exam, police certificate if needed, include your certified translation of documents, they are in English or French. Pay the processing fees, also submit your biometrics results within 2 weeks of submitting your applications if needed. Local visa office requirement also. Okay, you must have to meet this was the global strategy, skills strategy 2 weeks application process, which is the fastest one if you meet the eligibility requirement which I just mentioned you. Now this is very important, how to apply for your work permit. This is very, very important part. If you click here, where are you applying from? You see these are the questions, you must answer them. Then it will take you to the concerned page. Make your selection. If you're applying from outside Canada, if suppose just click it here. And now at the application to work in Canada. If you click here, how applying online helps you. If you're applying through online, you no need courier fees or mail delivery time. IRCC will get your application instantly. It helps you make you sure your application complete before you submit it. Okay, you can quickly submit more documents online. If they ask you, you get updates on the status of your application directly in your online accounts. So how are you applying? Suppose there are two ways to apply for work permit on my own. One is paper-based application, another is online. Suppose if you are applying paper-based, okay, then they are asking further question, where are you applying from? Now you have to mention your country. If I select here Pakistan, okay, so now you see here, for a paper-based application from Pakistan, you need this application package, which includes your instruction guide. You guys must read instruction guide, which helps you how to fill up your application form, and the document checklist for a work permit, which is the form number, which is called IMM 5488. It is in PDF format. Visa office requirement also included in this application package for in Pakistan. If you are applying from Pakistan, application for work permit made outside Canada included here. If you have family members accompanying with you, then family information form here, which is called IMM 5707. Visa application photograph specification, how to make your photograph, what is the size of the photo. Depending on your situation, you may need to submit a statutory declaration of common law union. Use of representative if you are hiring any Canadian immigration consultant, and then he has to fill up this form, okay, because he is applying on the basis of you. Authority to release personal information to a designated individuals. You will authorize the government that they can take your personal informations, which this form is called IMM 5474. You have to download PDF, otherwise you cannot download these forms. So if you have filled up all these forms, then where to submit your application. So suppose if you want to submit your application, suppose if you say that you want to submit in Pakistan also, you find out where to submit your application, where to submit your work permit application paper-based in Pakistan. Okay, when you submit your application, you need to submit the original travel passport, good quality photographs, minimum 300 dpi from your current and previous passports for the last 5 years, including all pages with visas, all pages with stamps, all pages with your biographical data, name, date of birth, passport number, including your photos. You can submit your application to the closest visa application center back. If you click here, it will show you. You see guys, these are the cities, name, country, territories, their websites, and they will the latest information updates will be given to you here, like the VAC visa office is temporarily closed until further notice. Okay, in this way, if you are from Pakistan, then you guys keep going down there, okay, and then just click next. You see showing here Ankara, Turkey, open with limited services, temporary closed. These countries, because of COVID-19, the situation is a little bit worse. So guys, if you like that, so in this way you can find your country. It was the method, to submit your application paper-based, but I prefer you guys must submit your application online. Okay, suppose if you go back to the starting point where you started, if you are applying from inside Canada, then you have to click this one. If you are applying from at a port of entry, Okay, for your work permit, then you have to go here and click it here. Suppose if you are applying from outside of Canada, okay, then you get the application to work in Canada. So submit it here, and then you will see here how are you applying. It means online or paper based. So if you clicked online, okay, then it's asking you further question, where are you applying from. Suppose if you select Pakistan or another country, then you see here, so it is the method how to apply through online application from Pakistan. Before you apply online, make sure you have the instruction guide to fill out the forms. Okay, visa office requirements for applicants in Pakistan. A scanner or a camera, you must have a scanner or camera at the time when you are applying online, okay, when you are sitting on your computer, and a valid credit or debit card to pay the fees. Depending on your situations, you may need to submit statute declaration or common law union, okay, depending on your situation, you know. Then otherwise you need to fill up this statutory declaration. If you need it, you can fill it, otherwise you don't need it. You need an account to apply online. Use it to pay your fees, check your status, or extend your permit. You need to create an online account, which will help you to pay your fees for your permit, and check it. You can check your filing status and extend your permit also. Create an account or sign in. Just click here. This is the way you can create your account. So sign into your IRCC secure account. So sign in, you can there are two options, you can sign in. One is the GCK method, sign in with your GCK user ID and password. This is the easiest one. And the sign in partner options too is here, so you can do that also, but I prefer to go in this way. Just click here, sign in. Just put your username and your password, okay, then sign in. It will take you inside, okay. Then you are and you must remember all this, your username and password. You see, I use my username and just entered here. So it says welcome Khalil 68 2016. If you continue here, so terms and conditions, so just accept. I accept. It will ask you some identity validations. So when you completed your degree, whatever, you guys have to create your own. Suppose if I put here, so okay, put continue. So guys, I already made the account here. You see here, this is the Government of Canada website, and now the Khalil Ahmed's account here. So I'm already citizen, so I don't need it. Don't need this account here. So you guys, because you are applying, you want to come to Canada, and I pray for you guys that you must get into Canada easily and through the process which I am explaining you here. So if any updates here, review applications, you submit it here. So if you don't know, you just put you search here, so application type here, application number here, application name here, date you submitted, current status, messages, action. So no data available in table. So because I'm already citizen, I don't need this one. So guys, these are the ways through which you can apply for your work permit. And how to apply, there are two methods: paper based applications and online. So in this way you can create your account here and pay your application fees here, and then they will keep corresponding with you through this account, and will let you know about your status of applications. Thank you guys, have a wonderful day. If you like this video and helpful, then please like and comments down below of the video and subscribe my channel as well. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.